Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and a Frontrunner Motorsport with 500 subscribers. Thanks to everyone who is watching any of my videos ever. So thank you so much for helping me reach that number. Now we're back to our watching the first season of Formula E series, and we are on round 5 from Miami in America. Out of all the races from season 1, I think this is the race I have the most memories from, with the exception of maybe London. But there are a few more driver changes. Now, from Dragon, we have lost Oriol Servia, who had been doing pretty well in the series. Nothing amazing, but he had scored points at every round. He's been replaced by the experienced Loic Duval. At Trulli, we have former Formula 1 driver Vitantonio Liuzzi coming in for Michele Cerruti. At China Racing, Charles Pic returns. He did race at the first race of the season for Andretti. He has now replaced Ho Pin Tung for the next few races. And at Andretti, we have Scott Speed, who is replacing either Matthew Brabham or Marco Andretti. I can't really remember. Most excited for Scott Speed because it's Scott Speed. And this alone should make it a great race. And we are in America as well, so Scott Speed should be in his element. So, with that, remember to subscribe, and let's begin.
Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
There, he took pole position in Uruguay in his first ever race, and he's taken it again today, and he is the man who has fan boost. Second on the grid, Nico Prost in the blue and yellow Edams car, yet to win a race this season, but he is looking good in the championship standings in 4th place. The man in second in the standings is there, Sam Bird. He'll be starting 3rd for Virgin with Sir Richard Branson watching over him. Daniel Abt has out-qualified Lucas Di Grassi once again this season. He'll be hoping he doesn't have any car problems because they have haunted him so far this year. Stefan Sarazan, best qualifying.
So Jean-Eric Vergne takes his second pole position of the year, and with Nicolas Prost and Sam Bird behind him. Those three not necessarily surprising, but a good qualifying performance from Daniel Abt and Stefan Sarazan. Now, let's see how this race turns out.
Lights are on, and we go green in Miami. Good start from Vergne. Good start as well from Sam Bird. He might be able to challenge on the run down into turn 1, but it's Vergne who has the lead. It's 3 wide for second place. Sam Bird looking to the inside of Nico Prost, and there's contact there. Vergne, can he get it stopped in time? Just about. He was clouded on the back from Nico Prost, but I think Prost will hold on to that second place for the time being. On board we go with Daniel Abt, and Prost does hold on to second. Bird 3rd, Abt 4th as they fly around underneath the MacArthur Causeway, then up towards the right-hander at Museum Park, turn number 4, and then back out onto the long Biscayne Boulevard once again. But everyone's made a nice clean start, have they? Loic Duval's getting pretty feisty, trying to force his way past Antonio Felix da Costa. Here comes Sam Bird looking to the inside line. We've got side by side further up, and Bird goes through. Sam Bird takes second position away from Nico Prost, the Englishman up to second. There was a move going on further back. I think it was one of the Amlin Aguri cars.
So it was a pretty clean start. Jean-Eric Vergne did get some contact from behind. I actually think he was quite lucky to survive. And we saw a great move from Sam Bird getting up into second place past Prost. He looks like the driver on the charge at the start. We'll see if that can continue and if he can take the lead.
All day long. So you can see the order on the left-hand side. Charles Pic has had a spin, and just trying to figure out where that is. I think that's turn 5, isn't it? Yeah.
And if you listen very carefully, you can actually hear Charles Pic questioning why he even bothered coming back.
Past Oriol Servia and take the lead of the race in Malaysia with a nicely executed move. And Jean-Eric Vergne is feeling the pressure now.
Sam's got to be careful doing that, though. If he overlaps like that, we'll have a situation as we had in, I believe, Uruguay, where one guy forced another into the wall.
Yeah.
He does look a good bit quicker here. Jean-Eric Vergne's job here right now is to stay in the lead using the minimum amount of power. So, again, when he's under attack, he can use it. But Sam looks very strong.
Yeah, Bird was half a second quicker. You can see there on that last lap than Jean-Eric Vergne in front of him. Lucas Di Grassi's just set the fastest lap of the race. The man in 6th position in the queue. You can see the standings there on the left-hand side of the screen.
So, 5 laps in, and there hasn't really been a lot of overtaking, but the action is still pretty close. But Sam Bird has now closed in on the back of Jean-Eric Vergne and is applying some pressure. Further down the field, we've seen Salvatore Duran try and overtake Scott Speed, but not quite manage it. So There's sort of a gap appearing between Scott's speed and the 7 or 8 cars in front of him, but not a lot of overtaking so far.
And he really, as we saw in Malaysia with his win there, he worked the battery so well.
He did really well in Malaysia, I thought. He made a mistake in Punta del Este that he owned up to, but as I said...
Okay, we are 14 laps in and nothing has happened.
Minimal experience of jumped straight in, got on with it, and Duval's picked it up very quick. The qualifying wasn't good for him. Da Costa looks quite close now. He's going to start putting some pressure on here.
Yeah, and then you've got to start looking both forward and backward. What's going in? This is Bruno Senna going past Salvador Duran.
Nice move there by Bruno.
Coming down into the left-hander, and that is 11th place now for Bruno Senna. Antonio Liuzzi going defensive into turn number 1 again. Loic Duval right up behind him. But the top 9 cars are covered by 6 seconds. Then there's a bit of a gap back. Look at this. Vern's got 19% of usable energy remaining. So he's not too much out of the game. If anything, it's Nico Frost who has the most remaining in that sort of top 6.
It's been that consistent 2% difference, hasn't it, really, between them? And
Okay, lap 16, and finally something happened. Bruno Senna got past Salvatore Duran for 11th place. Honestly, it's the first overtake I've seen in ages, and I'll take anything at this point.
Is the Virgin car of Sam Bird, and then third in that blue and yellow car.
as they're coming up to these pit stops.
Sarazan hit the wall. He's made a mistake coming out of turn 5. Pulls to the inside line to try and defend from Lucas de Grassi.
As he hit.
He certainly looked very, very slow coming out of turn number 5. Not quite sure if the car's crapping, but a mistake was made, and that has allowed Sarazan to put...
We've seen how fast these guys can drive the cars when they've bashed them off the wall and crapping. It's been every round so far we've seen it. Has he seen it? I can't see the side of the car there to see if he has actually damaged it. But as I was saying, as the pit stops come, Vern is going to try everything now to gap.
Oh, here's the attack from Sam Bird, almost side by side coming down to the first corner. That's exactly what you mentioned earlier. Trying to get that overlap on the outside, and you end up in the wall, and here's an attack from Bird. There's contact between them. So it's getting really, really feisty now for the lead of the race. Lap 19 of 39. Bird is pushing. Not too much damage on the nose cone there, but there was almost certainly contact. Trying to hear the Vern radio there, but it's not quite working out. Here comes Bird. He's got alongside, and he's going to take the lead of the race. Up the inside into turn 5. Sam Bird leads. Vern will try and get the cutback.
Yeah, I want your energy. I didn't get your energy rating.
So down they come into the final corner, and Vern pits. So Vern decides to go straight into the pits. Clever, because
0.9.
Because that is Sam Bird giving his energy reading as he's trying to overtake.
That's low. I mean, he might have to do a little bit.
4%, 3% remaining.
Yeah, that could.
So, it's finally time for the pit stops, and the race was just getting good. Stefan Sarazan bounced off the wall, but it looks like he survived, so maybe a bit of luck at last for Venturi. As for the lead, Sam Bird really started to go on the attack, and he actually managed to get past Jean-Eric Verne. There was some contact. I don't think it was deliberate. I think we just got caught up at the same place at the same time. It was a really good move for the lead for Sam Bird, and it was almost completely wasted by Jean-Eric Verne pitting straight away. Sam Bird stayed out, but he doesn't have a lot of energy left, so it'll be interesting to see if he can make it round a whole lap at speed without running out of energy before his pit stop. So we needed the pit stops to shake things up because this race has been a bit dull, and it looks like we have actually got that. So I'm looking forward to the second half of this race, despite the fact the first half has been a complete bore fest.
It looks like they've messed the strategy.
Maybe he was meant to come into the pits on that lap, but he was so busy trying to overtake.
0.1.
0.1%. So that is a disaster for Sam Bird. Prost is out there running very low, but he's just made it back to the pits. So Sam Bird presumably was meant to come in on that lap, got so busy trying to make an overtake.
And Piquet has 9% left.
Goodness me. So Nelson Piquet Jr. this has worked out very well for.
So yeah, Sam Bird didn't have enough energy to get round. But Nelson Piquet has 9% left somehow, which is pretty incredible, and has taken the lead, at least temporarily. He might get a few extra laps in on that, so this could all go Piquet's way.
So out of the pits has gone Daniel Abt and Lucas de Grassi and the like, but that is a disaster for Sam Bird. Took the lead in the race so decisively, but now he's run out of his usable energy in that car. Hopefully he hasn't gone over the limit. We'll have to try and get Nicky to find out if that's the case. In comes Loic Duval. But Nelson Piquet Jr. is still out there. That's the impressive part of this race so far.
And he's going to have to do less laps than everybody else, therefore can turn up the wick a little bit.
So, was this a very nice move from Nelson Piquet Jr.? We'll have to wait and see. So he's currently in the lead of the race. Nick Heidfeld hasn't pitted either at the moment. There is Piquet Jr. heading down the back straight as Scott Speed waits to head out of the pits. And there is Sam Bird.
I heard an exclamation from Michael Andretti. It doesn't sound a positive one either, as Scott Speed exited the pits.
Piquet Jr. So here's a look then. Let's try and figure out what's happened. So the two apt cars are in front of Jean-Eric Verne. Oh, just coming out of the pit lane there, side by side. We'll see what happened. Verne out just in front of Scott Speed, but the two apt cars are in front. I think Nico Prost is in front of them, but we'll try and, no, Prost's in the middle of the two apt cars. So Daniel Abt is ahead of Prost, who's ahead of de Grassi, who's ahead of Verne, with Nelson Piquet Jr. and Nick Heidfeld yet to pit. So at the moment, it's a net lead of the race, I believe, for Daniel Abt, depending on what happens with Piquet, who's in the pit lane now.
That's Charles
Peak,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
But no, he is. It's still true, but he's just over the other side of the garage. So that's Charles Peak, who's a lap down. Doesn't matter. Over on the right-hand side, it's Nelson Piquet Jr.
We're following the guy that's a lap down.
It's all right. He's still got to do his stop. But here's Daniel Abt then. The battle is between Daniel Abt and Nelson Piquet Jr. to come out in the lead of the race, into the left-hander of turn 5.
Look as they come up to turn 7 here. That's the point. Who's going to get to the exit of turn 7 first?
Into the right-hander comes Daniel Abt. Has Nelson Piquet Jr. left the pit lane yet? Yes, there he goes. I think Apt's going to lead this.
I do. Yeah, agreed.
Into the right-hander comes Daniel Abt, and he moves into what should be the lead of the race. But Nick Heidfeld is still out there and is yet to pit. So
I hope he's pitting because he was at 0% there.
Oh, right, okay. Well, he's still out on the circuit and hasn't made his pit stop yet. So Nick Heidfeld is still on the circuit. So there's Sam Bird. He is now right up behind. Is that Nelson Piquet Jr., I think, who's just come out of the pit lane. They go side by side. Yes, it is. Bird on the attack, trying to get past Nelson Piquet Jr. in the battle over what is now 8th place.
Karan Chandok has a penalty, drive-through penalty, just to make his day worse. He's not having a good day.
No,
So the pit stops definitely did shake things up. Neither Verne or Bird are in the lead. In fact, Daniel Abt is somehow in the lead. He is being followed by Prost and teammate de Grassi. Sam Bird has come out in about 8th place, with the long-running Nelson Piquet in 9th, but with more power to use. Definitely mixed things up, definitely made the race more interesting. I'm not sure if Stefan Sarazan actually got back around to the pits or not. He's last on the timing screen, so God knows what's happened to him. And hopefully the race from here should kick on a bit.
The apex while they're turned through. It's one of those ones you close your eyes and open them and think, oh, I didn't hit it.
Speed's actually pretty close to the back of Verne as they come down towards turn 5. He's not going to... Oh, he's going for it! Speed's going for it on his teammate and he goes through! That is going to be a very annoyed Jean-Eric Verne because he's just been passed by Scott Speed, his teammate. Down towards the right-hander they come. Verne sticking there, but Speed is through and up into 4th position with 5% more usable energy remaining.
Yeah, you're Scott Speed, you got to go. You clearly, got a bit in hand on your teammate.
And this isn't team orders, is it?
No, absolutely not.
Because that's he came from quite a way back there.
That's a great overtaking move.
Yeah, well done. Great to have Scott Speed here in the championship, and he's up into 4th position, the American driver in Miami. And Verne, they were pretty close to each other there, and Verne had to back out of it. Tried to get the cutback, but it didn't quite work out for him. Nelson Piquet Jr. has just set the fastest lap of anyone in it.
I didn't even notice that Scott Speed had climbed to 5th, let alone grabbing 4th off his teammate with an absolutely audacious dive bomb. A great move from Scott Speed. It's a shame he never did that in Formula 1.
Yeah, the gap is down to just 9/10 of a second. The top 4 covered by 2.1 seconds. So with 10 laps to go, it's really starting to ramp up here in Miami. Jean-Eric Verne's just done a personal best in the first. So Verne's lost out to Jerome D'Ambrosio as well. So Jerome D'Ambrosio has got up into 5th place for the Dragon team, past Jean-Eric Verne. We missed that. Sam Bird's in 7th place, Nelson Piquet Jr. 8th, Buemi and Da Costa are in 9th and 10th positions. This is the onboard view.
Nelson Piquet just the fastest lap of the race there, 7.9.
That was a very quick fastest lap, wasn't it? It didn't have a fan boost or anything, so that's really impressive from Nelson Piquet Jr. Here's a look, and now he's on the attack, going past Sam Bird for 7th place.
Remember, he went a lap longer, so he's got more energy to use in that second car, which he's using to very good effect right now.
Yeah.
There he is in the red and yellow Team China car.
And that is a big that could be a big moment in Sam Bird's championship, because he could have taken the lead of the championship if things had, you know, if he'd have made that move, won the race, he takes the lead of the championship.
Yeah, ifs and buts, you know, but whoever's decision that was, or it was a communication issue or a radio problem, but it's cost Sam dearly.
So, still not a whole lot going on, but Jean-Eric Vergne is moving backwards, which is surprising given that he was the pole man and the pace setter for the first half of the race. And Nelson Piquet is moving forwards. Maybe we're starting to see his title challenge start to kick off. He is using his extra power. He's gotten past Sam Bird, and we'll see how much progress he can make in the last 8 or 9 laps.
Let's have a look and see if Piquet Jr. has a crack going down here. Looks to the inside line. Oh, he's gone for it. Banzai down the inside, and Piquet Jr. goes through into 6th place.
I came from about 3 days back.
Great move from Piquet Jr. He is
Okay, so that might be part of the season. With moves like that, he deserves to be champion.
place away from Sam Bird. My apologies. And so Da Costa goes through. I think that's just Vergne going past Antonio Liuzzi. Yes, it is, with Buemi trying to follow through as well. Then it's Antonio Felix da Costa in 9th. Sam Bird is in 10th place. Still.
Top 4 cars, 1.9 seconds.
Yeah, incredibly close. And,
6 laps to go.
It's going to get feisty, isn't it, with 6 laps to go here in Miami. Daniel Abt leading the way. There he is. Nico Prost right behind him. Here's the attack from Scott Speed into 3rd place. Job done. Down the inside into turn 5. And another just definitive move from Scott Speed, and he's into a podium position in his first race.
With 33% power still. He's got 2% more than anybody else he's fighting. So
And Scott Speed's got on the podium, so this is sort of a crazy race, despite the fact that not a lot is actually going on. It's all very, very close though. In other things happening news, Stefan Sarazan has retired from the race with a gearbox issue, so that Venturi luck I mentioned earlier has struck again. Sam Bird has been overtaken by Antonio Felix da Costa and is continuing to move backwards. It's all about if Scott Speed can chase down the top 2 now, and also can Nelson Piquet get any higher.
Coming out of this and into that right-hander, but no, again, Scott Speed not quite close enough to the back of Nico Prost. 2 laps to go now, and who is going to win this Miami Eprix? Surely it'll be one of these 3. Daniel Abt leading the way in the Abt car. Prost in 2nd in the blue and yellow Edam's machine. And that man there, Scott Speed, 3rd in the white and blue Andretti Autosport car. Prost is looking to the inside and goes through past Daniel Abt into the lead of the race. Almost taps the wall on the outside.
Speed's got to go here.
Abt is going to be fighting back as they come down towards turn 1. Surely this will open the door for Scott Speed, but they're still going to be side by side for the lead of the race. Scott Speed is through into 2nd position. Can he get it stopped? Yes. Prost leads. Speed 2nd.
Right, this is all going Scott's way here. Absolutely, just opened up lovely there. Let's see if he's got enough. He's got to make a move soon here, because last lap, Prost is going to be looking all over his mirrors.
And we haven't seen a move there at Freedom Tower for the whole of the race. But
And it's all changed again. Daniel Abt, he was overtaken by Nico Prost, and that allowed Scott Speed pass through as well into 2nd place. Scott Speed honestly closed up to the front 2 very, very quickly, and he's driving very well, especially as it's his first race in Formula E. Lucas Di Grassi is dropping back. I don't know if he's got an issue or he's just low on power. Daniel Abt 2 is kind of on the edge of the power, so I don't know if he's going to drop back further. But yes, at the moment Nico Prost leads from Scott Speed, lap and a half left, and Scott Speed's got a bit of a power advantage. So I know Scott Speed doesn't win a Formula E race. I know he got a podium. I didn't know it was actually this race. I thought it was actually in Long Beach. So maybe I don't remember as much of this race as I thought I did.
And Nico Prost. Oh, had a shake there. Nico Prost, did he hit the wall? Some debris flies up. Nico Prost might have clipped the wall.
27-8
Okay, so he's just giving some more information.
This is the moment. This is the moment. I think it's totally shut up there.
Yeah, Nico Prost getting very, very frustrated.
Scott Speed is there. Is he close enough? No, not a close.
Not quite coming down into the left-hander.
These next 3 corners where it's all at, he's got to set up for a move down the inside on the turn 5.
1 kilometre of racing still to go here in Miami. Out through the right-hander of turn number 3. It's all about this right-hander of turn number 4.
Prost's exits are so good though. Look, he did it again there. Brilliant exit. Let's see how brave Scott Speed's going to be.
Only 2 corners to go here in Miami. Speed surely is not going to be quite close enough. Daniel Abt is having to defend for all his worth to try and keep on the podium. Final corner. Surely Speed won't send one up the inside here. Oh, the yellow flags are out. Double yellow flags at the last turn, and that means that Nico Prost is going to take the checkered flag and win the race here in Miami.
So Scott Speed doesn't quite manage it, and Nico Prost wins his first Formula E race, which is probably redemption from the first race. As for everyone else, Scott Speed is second, Daniel Abt manages to keep hold of third, making a very interesting podium. D'Ambrosio and Piquet 4th and 5th, both of them had good races. Some of the big names, Jean-Eric Vergne dropped out of the points. I don't actually know what happened to him. Sebastian Buemi too, who was running in about 7th or 8th place, he dropped out of the points. I'm presuming power issues, maybe. Sam Bird and Lucas de Grassi scraping in 8th and 9th. So a lot of the big names did struggle in this race.
Second place across the line for Scott Speed, Daniel Abt in third. There was no checkered flag, so I don't know if they've seen the checkered flag because they're still going on it. It's been classified as a finish on the timing screens.
Flag.
Nico Prost
P2.
is the
Great
race
job.
winner here in Miami.
The flagman was off having a beer.
He was watching the screen to see who was going to win. And they were, oh, goodness, they're coming round. So, Nico Prost wins the race. Victory for Edams, their second win of the year. Nico Prost's first win of the year. There he is. He waves the checkered flag. Scott Speed finishing second on his debut for Andretti.
I love it when stuff like that happens. It's like the flagman was in the Portaloo taking a leak, and all of a sudden he hears over the speaker, and Nico Prost has won the Miami Eprix. And he's just like, oh shit, and just to fucking run out and grab his flag quick. It's embarrassing when stuff like that happens. Don't let him near the checkered flag ever again. So let's take a look at the drivers standing after the Miami Eprix. Nicolas Prost has taken the lead in the series, which is hugely surprising. Lucas de Grassi is in second with Sam Bird not too far behind. Nelson Piquet Jr. is closed up and Sebastian Buemi completes the top 5. And in the team standings, Dams are pulling away in front. Audi jumped Virgin but are only 1 point ahead. Andretti and Dragon still tagging along for the ride. So that was the 5th race of the first Formula E season. Not the best race ever, it was actually quite dull. Crazy result, but honestly the way we get there, it's not really worth watching. I'll be back with more Formula E very, very soon. The next round is also from America at Long Beach. Looking forward to seeing that one again. I can't actually remember anything that happens at that race, so it'll be fun looking back at that one. So remember to subscribe to the channel for more content. There's going to be more watching Formula E, more talking about Formula 1, more top 10s, more everything. So it's the best time ever to subscribe, as we're now over 500 subscribers and heading towards 1,000. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, leave a like and a share. Thank you for watching and have a good one.